It's crazy how people treat you badly, dismiss you, refuse to acknowledge you, degrade you, straight up ignore your boundaries, talk to you impolitely, and then label you sensitive when you decide to respond. This pattern reveals a common contradiction where people avoid acknowledging your experience while reframing your reaction as the problem. At least once in your life, you've had someone tell you that you are doing too much, it's not that deep, you're overreacting, or that you are sensitive. Not that they actually did something wrong, it's you again. You are the problem per usual. Many people, rather than acknowledging their words or actions that hurt you, choose to blame you for being too sensitive. This shifts the focus from their behavior to your reaction. And a side note, I have noticed a growing trend in our culture where people tend to dismiss your feelings and compare them to bigger problems in the world. And I just want to say that suffering is not a competition. Sometimes people dismiss feelings simply because they do not know how to handle emotional conversations, yours or theirs. My name is Hillary, and welcome to LAHRI. If this resonates with you, you already know what to do. Let's get into the video. I am positive we could all agree that not everyone is responsible, and quite a number of people like to take responsibility for their actions. For some, taking responsibility is like a crime because to do that means to give up on their ego. They can do nothing wrong, so to admit that they are at fault would mean that they are lowering their position in that moment. If someone does something to hurt you, speak up immediately. Do not wait too long, okay? Just gently ask them if you could speak to them privately and then talk to them about the matter, okay? Address their fault between the two of you like it said in Matthew 18 verse 15. And I know it's tempted to call them out right there and then because they did offend you in public. They did it in front of everyone, so you deserve an apology in front of everyone. But the thing is, if your goal is to correct them and not to humiliate them, it would be better if you just set them aside. There would be no need to call them out in public, especially in a rude way. In the moment, however, you can say something like, that comment was unnecessary. When most people are confronted in public, it puts them in defense mode, and this could lead to an argument rather than the problem being solved because you believe that you have a right to demand an apology or call them out while they're also believing that they have the power to defend themselves. And so now it's basically a tug of power, tug of war, power war. Yeah. But the thing is, it's not about winning in the moment, it's about solving the problem. And the truth is that if this is resolved in a private way, there is a higher chance of that person responding well. Okay, so sorry I have to interrupt this video, but I do want to tell you guys that yes, I did take that person's advice. I don't know why they were snooping in on my background, but yes, I do have like a difference. Anyways, the thing is that I'm still on a budget though, like you guys. So whatever is going on in the background, just like pretend you don't see it. Okay, I'm not gonna point it out. But it's quite obvious, isn't it? Again. Anyways, taking responsibility requires self-reflection, which means recognizing that they aren't always right, caring about others' feelings, and making the effort to change. Many avoid this discomfort, preferring to maintain control and the appearance of being right, even when they are wrong. Some people are not mature enough to handle their actions, so instead of owning them, they deflect. They shift the focus onto you because they don't want to lose face, especially in front of others. Protecting their image is important to them. They want to be seen as powerful or infallible. And also, they think that they're too cool for you. Some people regulate their self-esteem externally. They feel better pushing you down, not because their feelings are invalid, but because it gives them a confidence boost. It helps them protect their ego. It would hurt their ego if they said, "You're right, I hurt you." Recognizing their mistakes would mean accepting consequences, which would mean apologizing or owning what they did. And also the possibility of looking like the bad guy instead of making you look like the problematic one. Sometimes someone calling you sensitive or blaming you for the way they made you feel is their way to avoid shrinking in the moment. They need the spotlight to remain on them. So by labeling you as sensitive, they portray themselves to be more rational, okay? Reinforcing an internal hierarchy where they always come out on top. Although dismissing you could be because of a person's ego or their need to control the narrative, it could also be because of how they were raised or the kind of household they grew up in. Not everyone had the privilege of growing up with family members who cared about how they made you feel, so if someone did something to offend them and these woke up or showed emotion, they were being told that they were traumatic. And so now into adulthood, they think that any display of emotion is the person being dramatic. When you speak up, it triggers their old learned fear of being dismissed, okay? If they get uncomfortable around people showing emotion, that can mean that they were taught to always hide theirs. Even if their actions are a result of how they were conditioned, that does not make it acceptable. So I'm not saying just tolerate it. Just because someone was raised in an environment where emotions were dismissed does not mean that they are incapable of growth. It simply means they learned a pattern, but learned patterns can be unlearned. Everything sort of ties into how they want to feel about themselves, including not wanting to feel vulnerable. And you would be surprised the number of people who do things just so that they can look tough. They do not want to look like they're weak at all. No. They believe only weak people apologize, but that is so far from the truth because it takes so much strength and humility to realize that you were wrong and to say sorry. It could be they realize they hurt you and they want to apologize, but they can't because of that fear that they might feel unsteady. Like I said earlier, for some people, apologizing feels like stepping into unknown territory. They might be thinking, if I admit I hurt you, does that make me a bad person? If I apologize, will you use that against me? Or will I lose respect? My point is, don't jump to the conclusion that it's their ego. It might be because of their fears or discomfort with expressing emotions. So here are the key takeaways of my video. Even if someone dismisses you, you can protect your boundaries. Speaking up doesn't mean you're sensitive. It means you value yourself and your feelings. Notice the patterns, text your energy, and don't let others label your feelings as a flaw. Your emotions are valid and you have a right to be heard. Thank you for watching this video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you're interested or if you enjoyed this episode. Remember that I love you, God loves you. Peace. Bye y'all. See you in the next video.